I am Go Via Go Home. I want to welcome you back to another layout update. This is layout 3.0 and this is part 2. I'm going to do this one a little bit differently than my other ones. I'm actually going to show you the progression of my work as I go, give a little explanation in between each thing, and you'll be able to see my progress on the section. Well, I'm doing one section at a time, so you'll see the section and start to finish of that actual section. For most of the stuff that I'm doing, it won't be completely done, but most of it will be land, body work, cork, roadbed, and then track. Maybe even a little bit of wiring. It's very basic stuff. It's nothing extravagant. I'm just doing one section at a time though, so we're going to start off with one of the two peninsulas. I know I use the word peninsula very loosely. It's not really a peninsula, I don't think. I've just got two big loops on my layout, one at each end, where the train just heads back in the other direction. So I'm going to start with the one that has the paper mill, or will have the paper mill potentially on it or in the middle of it, and then we'll go clockwise. So here we go.
Okay, so here we see our second peninsula, that one being the first one over there, this one being the second one. Basically, after putting the benchwork together, having shaped out the contour of the wood there to kind of round it off with the 30-inch radius, basically adjusting the actual risers, starting at the 4-inch height at the back there, and then slowly making its way down to go through kind of like what will be a tunnel slash bridge kind of over under thing there. And obviously laying the foam, and then I had basically, once I had the risers going around, I had them pinned in place. Now I'm going around cutting this out so that this will be separate from the middle, because this middle part is getting raised up to about the 4-inch height. So that means I'm going to have to stack some foam underneath. It'll be a little hollow, but it's going to save me a lot of money in the long run. I have a lot of scrap pieces that I'll be able to fill that in with as I go. So you can see I cut out the foam from the middle. I've got the two pieces down there, a rounded part and a slightly rounded edged rectangular part. So that's going to go in the middle there. I've got the edging, which is about the same width as the risers going around. I've just used some No More nails, which I've always found to be very strong. Glued down that solid piece under there, and then I glued, there's like a little piece here, and then I've got this huge piece going around the outside edge there, another little piece in there, and like I said, the big one there. I also had to do some correcting of some foam in here. So there's a straight piece here that goes right back. Did a new one for there. And then there's a piece here and another little piece there. And as you can see, it's weighed down by basically everything in my kids' toys, basically. Some half-empty paint cans. This is probably the heaviest thing, so that's probably going to be the strongest area. These really old, well, not old batteries, but like batteries for my chop saw and circular saw there. I got another one over there, some drawers that have like a bunch of electronic parts and whatnot. Just some heavy stuff all around to make sure that it does dry and it sticks when it dries, because that would be the worst if it was to come back up. Okay, so now what we've done here, as you can see, still got a huge mess. All the pins are gone out of the risers. Why? Because that's all glued down. Get a nice
up close look at this. I didn't have to do every single one. As you can see, like that one's not glued, but you know what, like I've got those two glued, those two are glued, those two are glued, that one's not, that one's not, that one is. You know what I mean? So I went around and I did, if anybody is a welder that happens to watch this, I just did like a little spot welding, little tack welds all the way around. And it seems to hold just fine. Certain areas like this where it gets smaller, I did both sides. I also had to tack the top to the bottom in some areas here. Like that's a solid piece, but that's two pieces. And do I have one around here? Yeah, so that one's two pieces as well. You can see the difference there. So I had to tack it from the top to the bottom. And so that's on. That's all ready to go. Up here, besides the mess, I've already did the, you can kind of see in there a little bit. There's huge chunks, just like I described earlier. And they're all in there. And then I have the top piece, well, the top two pieces here, they fit together just like a puzzle. They were what I cut out of the very bottom here. So I have them stacked high enough, and then I glued those down on top. And they make a perfect landing here. Let me get rid of this stuff and I'll show you what we're going to do next. So this here was one of my ideas for the giant, I'm going to call it a peninsula, even though it's not really, well, it's kind of a peninsula, but this giant area here. It's going to be an industry, paper mill. You see I've got the one factory already, and that one there. I have a kit. I actually had this exact same kit before, but it wasn't for the paper mill. It was some other lighting factory. That's the thing with Walthers. They do one kit and they give you all the pieces to do both kits, and then basically depending on the situation, like whatever you're going to use it for, that's what you'd make it for, I guess. And then you can just paint them however you want. But basically I have the one track going into here to drop off with the box cars and whatnot. And I've got 3 tracks here for, you know, empties or drop-offs, pickups, and then another one that I can make it open at that end there, just to drop off more here. And then I still have to get, they're like the giant tanks. You get 2 of them in the package. I forget what they're called. So let me take this from a different angle. I might just go under for a second. Sorry to make you dizzy, but like basically, yeah, you'd come across this here, and then you'd have the 3 buildings, and you have the truck pick up and drop off. And I might do like a parking lot for employees here, and then I think I was gonna have like a road come right across here, and then yeah, and you can get on off and on the road here. It's gonna go across the tracks, which is fine. And that was basically my idea for that. Either that, or I push the 3 buildings over to that side way more, and then do my garbage, what was it? Scrapyard in this area. So I've got 2 industries here. But, I mean, this one's pretty big, where I can kind of, you know, I've got a lot that I can do with it. So, and, you know, add little hills and whatnot so it doesn't seem so flat. Let me know what you think. It's obviously not done. Like, I've got, you know, I just have to put this one together, right? And then it all goes on that one. But yeah, that's my idea for that. So after shaping these walls in the tunnel here into how I feel it would look best, basically, because these are little separate pieces here that I'm just just tacked on, basically just temporary, but they will get glued permanently on there and make them look like a concrete section. I basically made this kind of sloping rock wall. I'll just kind of move this to show you. It's all glued down now. So this is going to get covered with plaster cloth, and I'm going to use some plaster as well, just to kind of give it, you know, it's going to be a bit of grass, and it's going to be a bit more trimming that I have to do on it, because, like, you know, some of it sticks out too far, but yeah, so it's just the start of it there, and then I'll just cover the rest of it with plaster cloth and whatnot, and make it look a little bit more realistic. So that's one side basically done there, and it just leads right up to the actual, you know, the where the track will go, basically. Okay, so sorry that we're missing a few video clips. You know, one where I just had the plaster cloth, one where I just had the cork, and then obviously adding the track. And this goes for like all the way around here. Basically, clips that I had filmed individually, I tried moving them from my camera here to the computer, and I don't know what happened to the files, but apparently I could not use them, so I'm missing about 5 individual clips, which, whatever, it cuts it down, but doesn't really show you a great look at the progress here, but I'll just show you anyways. I'm gonna just cap this off here. So as you can see, plaster cloth is on. This goes all the way around as it goes up, and it comes over the edge a little bit. In most cases, covers the foam completely, but I'm gonna have you know, a fascia or fascia, however you want to pronounce it, going around there, so whatever, you won't even see it. I've got this mountain scene sort of here that I have to, I'm going to crumple up paper and put it in there, make another one of these, and I have it coming out. I still have to connect that, but basically, so that just in case there's any derailments in there, this lifts up and it fits in there just like a puzzle piece, and I've got the track going right in and around, and it just goes back in just like that. I did that all one-handed there, so, and then obviously you can see it's a 30-inch radius, so it's very, very smooth. I tried a couple of different cars out on this. That has plastic wheels, but it still rolls really good on there. I'm just gonna go around to the other side. Sorry if I get dizzy. Okay, get out of my way. Oh, you have pink foam all over you. Oh well. So yeah, when we look at this side, so obviously it comes around, real shiny rail. They're all soldered. Everything is nailed down, and then I've got 2 feeder wires. One just over in that corner there, and then the other one is right here. I got to here, which there's a switch. It's kind of like a number 8 curved switch by Pico, and then I've got the exact same one up here, but it's the other. That one's a right hand, where this one's a left hand. And I still have to do like the power hookups for this one here, like I did this one. See, which I explained in one of my other videos. So I still have to do that, and then add cork going across this way. But other than that, like this mountainous kind of scene here, that's all, you know, solid. I'm gonna do some plaster on there, just to cover up, obviously, because there's like a lot of little holes that didn't get filled. I don't know if it's supposed to do that, if everybody's is like that, but whatever, just cover it up with some plaster. Then I'm gonna go ahead and paint it all. I've got can there, brown paint, so I'll be able to do the whole thing, and then I'll just add little hills and whatnot as I go after. I've got a couple of buildings already set up here. I'm not sure if that's going to be permanent, but I have a rough idea of what I'm going to do. And that basically, finishes this off here. That's not a big deal. I'm just trying to get the main line done. This is all main here, so again, goes in this way, goes out that way, goes around, and it loops back this way over top. A lot of people have been asking me, what did I do for inclines? It's a 2% grade, and what was the other part? 2% grade. Yep, 2% grade. So, I'm not sure how long this is in total. I think it's a total of 16 feet. Oh yeah, right. It goes to 4 inches high. The end there is 4 inches high, and it goes all the way down to main, which is level 4 inches high and at a 2% grade. And I've run some longer cars on there too. Everything seems good. And hopefully 6-axle locomotives will also be fine. I'm assuming that they should be able to work on a 30-inch radius, but, well, with my luck, who knows. But, yeah. We've got a bit more to do, but we're getting there. Part 1 is done. Well, there you have it. That was the end of our peninsula there. Basically the layout update for that and the progression. Again, I apologize if it seems like there's a lot missing from the update. I lost at least 4 or 5 video clips, and well, let's face it, I wasn't about to tear it apart to go back and refilm those. I just assumed everything was going to be okay because I haven't had any problems with video clips this far. Yeah, it's something going forward that I'll, make sure is okay, so that way you guys don't miss out on anything. Okay. Other than that, just trying to get this done in about a month's time. The Ontario Rail Joiners, the ones that aren't local, they're coming out from the Toronto area here. So we've got Sparky, we've got Chris, we've got Peter, and then the local ones to me, which are Mark and Dave. I think that's all of them. I know Greg can't make it. Sorry. Maybe next time, hopefully. Other than that, these guys coming out here, we're going to be putting our modules together. So watch for videos on our channel for that. And also, I'm just trying to get this done here, like the main line, so that, if somebody wants to run a train, why not, right? It's kind of what you do when you're into trains. So, yeah, just want to make sure everything's good for them. But other than that, stay tuned for more, because we're going to be working on the next section of the layout. It's going to involve a couple of bridges, a couple more switches, and yeah, it should be fun. I've already kind of started on it, so I kind of know what I'm doing, kind of roughly, sort of, kind of not. We'll see. But until then, I'm Go VR Go Home. Thanks for stopping by, and to all my new subscribers, we've got a lot in store. So thanks for coming aboard. For the rest of you, thanks for sticking around. I'll see you around.